Hey guys, this is Max from FL Studio Tips, and today I will show you 7 mistakes every producer makes and how to fix them. It will be a mix of technical and mindset mistakes that will make sense only when you see all of them, since one has things to do with the other. First one is producing with the default template of FL Studio, the one with the limiter on. One of the worst mistakes you can make when at the beginning of your journey. I understand why FL has it by default, so you just don't hear bad clipping. Why it is impossible to clip you will see in our last video, but not knowing that you have it is going to destroy your music. Limiter on a master is simply going to completely screw up your whole song without a way to recover it. Trust me, I experienced it on my own skin. Basically, you're going to push the instruments louder and louder and it will start to sound ultra weird. And after you take out the limiter, everything will be all over the place. Simply don't put a limiter on your master if it's just to avoid getting too loud. Keep your master empty and turn down the master fader if you're going red. Although that leads to the second mistake, and I see hundreds of people do it, which is not knowing the dirty secret behind limiting and why it's bad for some stuff you're using it for. We uncover all such concepts in depth in our full mastering course, which we released just last week. 40 lessons, all genres, cheaper than a single mastering service. You're gonna love it, and if you don't, you get 100% money back. Check the first link in the description. I will keep the cool stuff for students, but it's super interesting topic. And simply put, a simple limiter is just infinite ratio compressor. And compressor is designed to keep the natural waveform of the sample, to only turn down the volume. And think about it, we definitely don't want to keep our waveform natural while at the same time wanting our track to be loud. This is why limiter will sound ultra weird. We want it loud, but it keeps the natural waveform. A quick solution for that is using a soft clipper. There are a lot of people talking about that on the internet, but I don't remember seeing somebody using this Fruity limiter knob. It's the exact same knob as threshold in Fruity Soft Clipper, and it's way easier to use it here. You can boost the gain, you can see the waveform, etc. Soft clipping is going to cut and round up the waveform at the point of exceeding the threshold, and it won't just turn down the volume like a simple limiter would do. Doesn't it sound obvious? The takeaway is don't put anything on your master, but if you really want to get slightly squashed sound when producing and ensure you don't exceed 0 dBFS, use limiter in saturation mode. That will definitely let you get the loudness without clipping. So here's our track, this will be our limiter and this will be our saturation soft clipper. We need to take down the saturation and turn up the ceiling. Limiter. Third mistake is not going through fundamentals first. Everybody wants to learn fancy techniques and do what pros do right from the start. But in our experience, we know that to boost your learning curve as a producer and get the results the fastest possible, you need to learn first what works, why it works, how to do it, and how to actually implement the knowledge on your own productions. It's going to be so much easier if you go through everything in correct order. And that's why we made our full FL Studio course made for beginner and intermediate producers who need a start to finish guide for becoming a professional producer and get results fast. Thing is, do not want to learn how to sidechain when you don't know how compressor works. Knowing dynamic frequency masking won't give you anything while you still don't get the importance of individual elements of your track, how they talk with each other, etc. Or how to do vocal mastering when you still don't know that such thing doesn't exist. Learn fundamentals, learn how and why it works before going further. Fourth mistake, not learning music theory, or better said, not training your ears, or even simpler, just being out of key. That's one of the biggest problems to face when you're trying to become professional music producer. Some people are simply born with that skill and we just need to accept that. But it's definitely possible to train your ears and know when you're out of key, know what keys to use when you're making your bass, melodies and harmonies. There are tools that will help you out, like scale highlighting, but trust me, the beautiful world opens as soon as you get out of the scale and know every possible action you can take while making your harmonies. We teach you all that in our full harmony and chords progression course, where even from complete zero, you're learning everything about building chords, the beauty of scales, notes, being in key, and how to make advanced and fresh sounding chord progressions. It's a part of full bundle where you get access to literally everything we've made so far, all courses, all sample and MIDI packs, presets and templates. Purchasing one makes us exist, so if you like our channel, consider taking this win-win deal. Mistake number 5, overprocessing, especially with wet effects, and not cutting lows from the reverb. As trivial as it might sound, I can't describe how cleaner my tracks started to be and more mature sounding as soon as I started cutting lows from my reverb. For example, here I have my drum bass with a lot of long reverb in. So first thing, with wet overprocessing, we tend to just add too long reverbs. So on the snares, for example, we can go and make it shorter, like that. On the hats, already way better. And now in the equalizers of your reverb, if you cut down the lows, in the fruity reverb, you have it here. And now, and without any reverb, really important to not overprocess with wet effects your instruments. We love reverbs because they sound super cool. The thing is that using too much of it is one of the easiest aspects of distinguishing amateur and professional production. We have a video dedicated to reverb where we show you how to deal with all that. Definitely check it out after this video. But the main tricks are using the same reverb among your whole track, for example as send reverb, will make it more coherent and natural sounding. Next is that muddiness is in the low end. If you don't cut it from the reverb, your mix will be extremely messy. Also, as you heard already, make the reverb tails shorter than you want it. For example, on snare, make it no longer than until the next snare hits. Made all about snare videos as well. 6th mistake, when I realized that, my outlook on life changed dramatically. Sound choice. Your music is made of the sounds you choose. That's why the sample selection is the biggest factor of if your tracks sound great or bad. Sound selection is important not only to make your tracks sound better and more professional overall, but the sounds you choose define your uniqueness. Not making your own custom library of sounds is also a big mistake. Make a folder with sounds that you love and keep using throughout your releases. It's a great way to succeed being unique. I tell you, not many people take the time to save their favorite samples they found or made. And producers I know that do save them are pretty successful. Remember though, it takes years to develop your unique sound and gather a collection of unique samples. Takeaway is that samples define your sound, and it's quite crucial if you want to stand out. Also, we made amazing sample pack for future bass, hybrid trap, and related genres, made exactly from the samples we created for ourselves. Samples that we loved and used all the time and just decided to share it, not a product like you normally would see on the market. That's how powerful can sample selection be. Let's say that's our track. Pretty cool, but what if I just exchange the samples with the ones from our future bass pack? Night and day difference. Now, as soon as you know that you should use high quality samples like the one from our packs, if you don't use templates and presets and project bones, is going to make your gains very quickly die out. We also made a video how to use project bones. It's like going to the gym, but every time you enter, you need to build the weight machines like an IKEA table again and again. Why not start working out and building your tracks right away you enter your DAW? Save your templates, open your synths in Patcher, process them there, save the Patcher presets. How to do it is also on our channel. And every time you start a new track, use project bones from the previous songs. Or even start with a template with your favorite sounds already in it, and then just change the samples to not make it repetitive among your releases. Next part is coming out soon. If you want to help us out, check the first links in the description. I hope you learned something today. Leave in the comment section mistakes that you used to do. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to not miss out on the next content like this. See you in the next video.